Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I love that. Welcome to the Monday, March 31st meeting of the Board of Selectmen. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Board members have anything under unanticipated?
Mr. Chair, I do.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of what it was. There was, all right, I know exactly what it was. I just sent the board an email about a smart 911 system. I got approached by a reporter over the weekend, on Friday or something, and all the days are starting to blur together. But smart 911 is a and maybe the chief, we can talk to the chief later on about it, to make his evening a little bit longer. Smart 911 is a program, like I said, I haven't looked into it extensively yet, but I think it's something we should look at. When you dial 911 and you report an emergency, you can have a public profile, well, not a public profile, but you can have a profile of the people in your home, any issues they may have. You can actually post pictures of what you look like and things like that. So when the first responders get a 911 call, they know who's at the house, what their issues are, where they are, and all that stuff before they get there. So they're not walking into, a mystery. So there is some cost involved, and there's some other things that we need to look at, but I think it's certainly worth looking into, and just kind of to complement that Code Red system as well.
Is it adaptable with Code Red by any chance?
I haven't really looked into it, but I
Okay.
don't see why it wouldn't be.
Right.
But just something, like I said, minutes ago I forwarded you an email, so I'll be looking into that in the future.
Okay, there we go. Mr. Knowlton?
No.
No? Audience have anything under unanticipated?
I'd like to bring something up.
Name and address?
Chris Wainwright, 54 Pearl Street.
Thank you.
I'm doing my genealogy, so right now I've been getting documents from the town, marriage certificates, death certificates, stuff like that. The people there are really nice, but I just wanted to say I think it really stinks that the town of Middleborough charges $10 per copy for paperwork that's already been bought and paid for, stored in a building that's been donated to the town. I mean, I feel like I'm being shaken down paying $10 for a 2-cent ream of paper. I just think it's a really rotten thing to do. And I think the selectmen should do something about it. They change this policy. I mean, it's like, being shaken down by gangsters here. I mean, $10 for a ream of paper just to get out and print a copy. I mean, that's absurd for something that's already bought and paid for in a donated building. So there's no reason to charge for any of this. Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything under unanticipated? Announcements? Board members have any announcements? Yes, and Lavani, I bet you have an announcement.
I do, but
Okay.
Mr. Frawley does too, doesn't it? Okay,
Please,
fine.
Not fight, ladies before gentlemen. Go
Okay,
ahead.
maybe it should have gone under unanticipated, but I did attend the DOT breakfast last week, and Frank DiPaolo was there in place of Secretary Davey speaking. But the biggest thing, and I think what's most important to us, is he discussed the big projects that the DOT will be undertaking in southeastern Massachusetts. And there were 3 of them: the third bridge over the Cape, widening Route 3, and the Middleborough Rotary. So I thought that was very, very nice to bring up.
So Rotary first or last?
Actually, it was first. I did, for effect, though, I put it last, just so that you can get that. One other real quick thing. I would like to recognize, and he's probably going to be mad at me for this, but Glenn Montepert has been awarded the President's Volunteer Service Award for 2013. It's a big deal. He was in USA Today on, his name was anyway, on Thursday. His job actually nominated him, and he was chosen, and it's a really big deal. So, and he's right here in Middleborough. And my last, and I'll make it really quick, the Herring Festival, we have sold out for vendors. We got so many responses that we had to make an extra line of vendors. And I just wanted to emphasize, if anyone out there has an oral agreement or received an application from a participant or in order to participate and has not gone through Sherry Swindle and been confirmed by her, you do not have a spot until it is confirmed by her. And you can reach her at she's 508-930-4889. Please, you have to get a confirmation from her. We have well over 50 vendors and people doing presentations, so if you want that spot, it's less than 2 weeks away. Please make sure you get in contact with her unless she's already sent you a confirmation. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Frawley.
Yes. I think this is a fairly important announcement. Tomorrow night at Plymouth North High School, starting at 7 p.m., Representative Tom Coulter is going to have a presentation called Do You Know What You Need to Know?, which is about a drug prevention for parents and children. With the current crisis, drug overdose and heroin crisis, opiate crisis that we're having in southeastern Mass and indeed across the country, this is, I think, an important seminar for people to be aware of and to attend. It's for parents and children of all ages. It's specified for parents. There is babysitting available. No registration is required. All parents are encouraged to attend. A special focus on issue and decision-making facing teens and preteens in grades 5 through 12. For more information, you can contact Abby Elmore, ABBELMORE, at hotmail.com. Babysitting at the school will be available through the YMCA. To sign up for babysitting only, please call 508-830-4400, extension 1710. Like I said, that's tomorrow night, 7 to 9, I believe, at Plymouth North High School. If you want any more information, you can easily reach out to Tom Coulter's office, or you can reach out to me and I'll give you any information that I may have. I will be attending, and I certainly encourage parents all throughout the region to attend this event as well.
Thank you. Any other announcements or recognitions?
Hi there, Glenn Montepert, Marion Road. Select Person Leilani Dalpe,
Oh, God.
for all that you do for this town, we wanted to thank you and wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you. Birthday to you. Oh, my God.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Leilani. Happy birthday to you.
For once, I'm speechless, okay?
God, you can do that every Monday.
Thank you, thank you. These are my students, many of them.
Welcome.
And you can hear how great they sing. And their parents and everyone back
humble.
there. Thank you. Thank you. I'm speechless. I can't believe. Oh, boy. I'm just going to move them over here. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you. I can't say anything else. Okay, guys. I guess you're gonna. Thank you so much. Oh my God. 29. 29. Yep. Oh my God. That's perfect. I'm sorry. No, it's just. I'm
Can we? I kind of have to see Jack.
Yeah. I'm putting them down.
Sorry.
They're beautiful. Thank you.
I don't want to get them knocked over,
No,
but
no,
I
no,
have to
I
see
won't.
her too.
I won't.
All right. Any other announcements or recognitions?
Who's going to top that?
What are we going to do? We're going to fly down to the Blue Angels or something? Okay. Minutes for the 3/24 regular meeting.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Entertain a motion to authorize the chairman or his designee to sign the warrants for week ending 3/28.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. New business. First item on the agenda is a vote to approve Wright Pierce invoice for schematic designs in the amount of $73,662.86, and this is for the sewer treatment facility. And
Correct.
they're at, is it 85% complete on this?
On schematic, yeah. Just an update, though. We had a meeting, with the entire team about a week or so ago, and we've, after that meeting, we called the DEP and the EPA and said, we're to the point now where we're getting into final design. We don't want to start designing until we have a permit in hand. So can we have a meeting in the next 2 weeks to see that we get a final permit so that we can proceed? Because we are on a tight time frame. We're trying to meet that deadline for the financing. But by the same token, we don't want to be doing something that, could come back and bite us. So, they told us in the next couple of weeks they'd have we'd have a meeting, the permit would be close to being ready. So, to the concern of let's not go too far down this path, we're taking steps to get that permit issued so we know exactly what we're designing for.
So basically, everything we've been designing for right now is, we'd need no matter what.
Yes.
And
yes.
then now we get down to the more finite areas where it makes a big difference as to
Yeah,
what
I mean,
our
we're
permits.
talking about, filter technology and being able to reach certain tolerances and certain, end results. And, at this point, before we start spending, a lot more money, we said, it's time for you to tell us. We just want to know what the number is, what we have to meet.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Mr. Chair?
Questions of the board? Yes.
Charlie, should we be reaching out to our state and federal delegation to see if we can?
Well, not right now, but, if this meeting doesn't materialize the way we've been promised, then maybe we have to.
All right.
Pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is a vote to approve the Wright Pierce invoice for pilot testing, the amount of $5,715.30. This is for testing the pilots? No. Good.
Again, testing the technology.
Okay. And this is going to be stopped too? Are all of these?
No,
different-
this was something that actually preceded design. This was to confirm that the technology would work. And, so this, as you can see, is 85% completed, and it should be, because, it's really, we're still confirming one set of numbers, but it's really essentially done.
Okay.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is to vote to approve Wright Pierce invoice for Task 2 permitting assistance in the amount of $1,875.05. What percentage, is this a percentage of completion?
15%, yeah, this is-
15%, okay. And this is assisting us in the
In getting all our
permitting
permits.
process?
Yep.
Okay. Questions of the board?
Oh, sorry.
Questions of the board? Okay, pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. And we have a vote to approve Wright Pierce invoice for subcontractor services in the amount of $10,829.98. Charlie, what was
And that's 18% completed.
18%, okay. Any questions of the board? Hearing no questions. Any pleasure of the board, rather?
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. We have a vote to approve a one-day all-alcohol beverage liquor license for the bartending services in New England for April 12th, 2014, from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. at the Town Hall for the Herring Run Festival event.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. We have a vote to approve a one-day beer and wine liquor license for the bartender services of New England for the April 12th and April 13th from noon to 4 p.m. at Oliver Mill Park for the Herring Run Festival Beer Garden.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. We have entertain a motion relative to voting to declare the 1998 Chevy Blazer as surplus. This is the building inspector's?
No, this was a, I believe this was a hand-me-down from the Gas and Electric Division.
And
It
this
was,
has-
you know where it was being used? It was being used at the landfill. It was off the road, but we used it inside the landfill just for the,
We don't have to take it far then, do we?
yeah, it wouldn't go very
Push
far.
it over the edge.
Very good. Okay, comments or questions? Pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is discussion and a vote concerning the 3-year contract with Brewster Ambulance. And, Chief, did you want to address this, or no? Okay.
Well, let me
Charlie?
just give you an update from the last time we discussed this. This is a new 3-year contract with Brewster. It's for $177,500 for the next 3 years. We worked out an agreement to reduce the performance bond, which ended up bringing the cost down and still protecting the town. Whereas originally we had thought about contracting for an additional ambulance, a BLS ambulance. We found that when we looked at the budget coming into this year, we just couldn't afford it, so we went back to the current level of service, which is what this contract involves. It doesn't prevent us from, trying to expand the service sometime during the term. It's just not something we can do right now. So, with that, it's, again, it's a 3-year agreement. Mark Brewster's here. I don't know if he wants to make any kind of comment.
Mark, would you care to come up and share a few words with us?
No, I'm just gonna have to.
Hell, nobody wants
Everybody's
to talk
microphone
here.
shy tonight.
Trying to drag this out all night, come on. All right, well, I got to say that the Board of Selectmen does always hear complaints, and I haven't heard any about Brewster. There might be some out there, but we're not hearing them. If I don't hear it, it didn't happen. I'll go simple. Everything I've seen has been you've been very extremely supportive in the town. You bought property in the town. You have supported the town when we've had our various extenuating emergency situations, and we couldn't ask for more than that. I'm sure there's issues that pop up, but they're all being addressed. The guy with the axe over there would let me know if bad things were happening, and he seems fairly happy. He's as happy as he ever is. Let's put it that way. So. Questions of the board?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I just want to say I worked on the, or served on the EMS committee for a while before here, and I was nothing but impressed with the professionalism, the willingness of Brewster to work with the chief, and the multiple instances when they went above and beyond their contractual obligations to service the people of our town. And I wholeheartedly support this.
Mr. Chair, I still serve on the EMS committee as well, and not only are their scores higher than we've seen with other contractors, but their ability to work with the chief, which I think is more important than anything, is when there is an issue, and there are complaints. Not many of them, but there are some out there. But they get together and they work together as a team to fix what's wrong. Whereas in the past, different vendors have said, well, we don't have to do anything because that's not in the contract, and that's the end of it. This is a good working relationship, and like I said, I think that's of the utmost importance. And yeah, as you mentioned, they're fully invested in the town. They plan on staying here, and they give back to the community as much as they can. And they're here when we need them, above and beyond their contract, without question. So yeah, I fully support this as well, and hope I can do it again in 3 years.
Agreed.
Okay. Pleasure of the board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Very good. Good job.
Thank you.
And now we have to vote on the town manager, the what? Town manager's budget recommendations. So,
Mr. Chairman, this set of recommendations differs very little from the original set of recommendations I made to you a month or so ago. It doesn't allow for any expansion of services or restoration of services. It's basically a level services budget. Only 2 exceptions from what I gave you originally. I made a mistake in Jackie's salary, which I corrected, and I reduced the snow and ice budget back to the typical $55,000 with the intention that we'll put the $150 back in the fall from free cash. I did that because I've seen the preliminary school budget request. They're being hit with a very large special ed increase coming up, and we're going to have to be able to deal with that when we hear their budget later this month. So, except for those 2 changes, I haven't changed anything else. I will be probably making some modifications to debt and to the enterprise funds as we go further, just to update those as we figure out the debt numbers for some of the work that we'll be doing on the wastewater treatment plant and the wells, the articles that are in the budget, in the town meeting warrant. So,
okay.
that's where we stand.
Okay. Questions of the board? Now, so people understand, if the state becomes, very generous with their school aid contributions and so forth, it could put us in a better financial picture. We're not desperate, but we're not fat and happy either. So we need a lot of money from the state to help balance out that special ed fund.
Yeah, we really could use some additional state aid. If you figure out the amount they gave us, which was $82,000 this year, basically $25 per pupil, it amounts to 0.5% of our total Chapter 70 allocation. Not even our total budget, just our Chapter 70 allocation. So it's really doesn't support very much. I've talked to Superintendent Weiss. We are going to meet with some of our legislators and talk about that. Some of our legislators get it very well, and they tried to increase that allocation, but it didn't happen. And now that they've passed a early resolution, and they've almost shut the door on us, but I think we still have to explain that that's just not a number that we can survive on. Last year I think was better. The year before that was better. This year they really gave us very little money, and that's good. That hits hard, especially in a year where we have and we are seeing a large special ed increase. So you send a letter. Hopefully the school committee will be sending letters to our legislators. I think we have to educate them about what the community needs in order to continue to provide this service. and $25 per pupil doesn't come anywhere near it.
Is there anything else we can do? Anything the town people can do? There's a lot of people watching us.
Oh, yeah, I think calling our legislators and just saying, you know, we need more support for school aid. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Can we put the governor's office phone number on our website?
Oh, sure.
Because I think the governor's office should hear from each and every person in Middleborough that this is affecting as well. Because he doesn't seem to listen sometimes.
Well, you know, the thing is, the governor is winding down. He submitted his budget, and now it's basically out of his hands anyway. Our only hope is with the legislature at this point, you know, whether they can convince the leadership.
Numbers on there too.
Yeah, whether they can convince the leadership to, you know, do something more. That what they did just wasn't enough.
How about, can we craft, I know a lot of times I get stuff in the mail. You know, people, naturally they want the money first. Send me the check. And then, here, by the way, call your representative, and these are the talking points I want you to use. Can we put something like that up on the website so people, you know,
Well, we
because a
can
lot of
certainly,
people may not quite understand all the nuances of what we're dealing with, even though we talk about it a lot. The folks may not really be able to hammer the right point.
Yeah, we can certainly do something like that. We can modify one of the letters we've sent recently and, you know, put it up there as an example if people wanted to use that.
As a sample.
Sure.
Okay. Any other questions or comments on the? Then, pleasure of the board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Hearings, meetings, and licenses. My more fun parts of this night. We have the folks from Edgeway here. However, this is a hearing that's been continued since, well, it seems like forever, but the last time was January 27th, 2014, and we are going to, I'd entertain a motion to continue this for
Another
another month,
3 months?
or 3 months.
I would say they still have things to do to close, and I think 3 months would be the right time.
This is, you know, I go both ways on this because, I mean, we can bring this, we can do this anytime we want, but it does show that we're continuing to hold the sword of Damocles over the, whatever is
The administrator.
The administrator's head, so. All right, I will entertain a motion to continue this for 3 months to, what date would be 3 months from now, Jackie?
I've got a calendar here.
June something.
That's good, June something. Precise, I like that.
June 2nd? That's a Monday?
Yeah, okay, June 2nd.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We're going to continue this to June 2nd at 7:30 PM. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. See you in June. Probably still be snowing. There was a request has been withdrawn relative to the KOA variance, so we don't have to discuss that at all?
We do not?
I think you should open a hearing for the request.
We don't have to because the request's been
It's been
withdrawn.
withdrawn.
There's nothing to talk about.
Well, actually, there is, because the request was withdrawn, but there's a complaint. There's a complaint. Their remedy for the complaint was to request a variance.
The request has been withdrawn.
Right, They withdrew the request, but there's still a complaint.
They're in business. They're in operation. They're in this season of operation right now. This is their operating season.
Yes, it's their operating season. There is a complaint that was filed with the with the health department, and that's what prompted the request for a variance. There is a complaint before the health department and before
Did you make this
board.
request?
Yes, I did make this.
Are you going to address anything different from what you've already addressed on this complaint? Are you going to address anything different from what you've already addressed on this complaint?
Well, I want to know what the consequences to the complaint are.
We have made no decision.
And when are you going to make a decision?
It's probably a good question. I don't know. We'll have to discuss it.
I mean, there is a complaint,
That's right. And we've got it.
and you have it.
Right.
They requested a variance to correct the
We
complaint.
already know that. We've already discussed that, yes.
Right.
You have nothing else, so we will discuss it. But we don't have to discuss it tonight.
You don't have to discuss it tonight.
No.
You said you accept complaints.
I do. Yes, we did. We have.
Okay.
And we will
and
look
then
into it.
Does the KOA have a license even though they have violations?
Your complaint was registered, and we will look into it. We'll investigate.
Well, the health officer charged the KOA with violations.
I haven't seen that myself, but that's okay. We'll look into it, like I said.
Well, when I left here last week, you were going to look into it, and now it's been...
And they have withdrawn what was brought before us last week. So we will continue to look into
You didn't have
it.
to look into it because they withdrew their...
We will look into it.
You said you were going to look into it last week?
No.
Oh, you didn't have time.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
have time.
No, you didn't have time.
Thank you.
You don't want to upset the KOA because they might not be as cooperative and so forth
Thank you.
if you do.
We will take care of it. Thank you.
Fine.
Would you mind if we discussed your review a little early?
I would not
It's
mind.
4:45.
I'd rather discuss my review than the KOA.
Second? No.
So, one of the more, there are a lot of bizarre things, and I'm sure you've seen them, that happen in town government. And this is one of the most bizarre. We have to do the review of the town manager in public. Now, if I was to do a review in business, and I did this on the manufacturing floor or wherever, I'd have so many lawsuits against me, it wouldn't be believable. However, this is a different world we live in here. So tonight, we're going to discuss our review of the town manager's performance. I will start, and I will say there are many things. When you first get on the board, you look at a lot of different things. And as I've been here for a few years, some of those original thoughts don't rise as high as other thoughts do. And coincidentally, I have just finished the draft of the report of the Board of Selectmen, and some of the things in there are a result of what Charlie has done. Now, Charlie is not perfect. He does not walk on water, and none of us do. But our financial picture today is better than it has been in years. And this just isn't me speaking. We've had auditors come in, and they've increased the credit rating of the town to a AA rating, which is excellent for a town. There's only two more levels up to go. I don't know if we'll ever see that, but where we are right now puts us in a very, very, very good bonding situation. Now, Charlie doesn't do this all by himself. He's got managers. We have good managers in our town. And he works with those managers. And there isn't a manager out there that wants to come in here with a level-funded budget. But Charlie works with them, explains the situations. The workers in the town, the various unions, he works with them. I may not be the one to work with the union. I'm not that type of person, but Charlie does a lot of that, and he does it pretty well. I rated Charlie very high because of our financial picture, because of the service level of our town has improved, even though a lot of our folks in the town are working harder than they ever have before, with less. But they're doing a great job. So, some of the managers, one of the things that I've always said was Charlie should work a little harder with some of the managers. You know, I wish everybody would be, you know, our fire chief sitting up back, and certainly he's brought the ability of accessing millions of dollars of grants into our town, along with all the other stuff that he does. But Charlie doesn't have to go over there and hold his hand. Fire chief, so, you know, he runs on his own, and he's got his mindset. But Charlie works with him, and you know that. Now there's an example of a manager that goes above and beyond. I mean, there's a lot of them. I just happen to see the chief up there. Tricia's over back here. She takes care of our mosquitoes in the wetlands. By God, she's doing a great job. There's going to be a hell of a crop this year. But you know, they work hard, and I've said Charlie has to work with some of the managers to help grow our town. So there's my negative. That's Charlie has to work more with some of the managers. So, having said that, Mr. Frawley,
I get to start.
you get to go.
I'm generally pleased with the job Charlie does. Very few times I can walk into this building and Charlie's not there, and I'm here at all hours of the day and night, and that goes a long way with me, to come in here and see that he's here 8 in the morning, 7, 8, 9, 10 at night, he's here. He's one of the few people that go to more meetings than I do, and that means a lot to me because he's a hands-on type of person. Sometimes people who don't know Charlie too much may think he's a little aloof, but I think he's just wise in the way that he keeps his mouth shut until he knows what he's going to say. I should take some of that advice. But I think that the best indicator of how we are and how he's been performing with the weaknesses that this town has is how our credit rating went up. I've been coming to these meetings for a long time, and this is the first time I've heard that we're actually in a better financial place. You know, I mean, we've had some tough financial times, and I'm not saying that they're not tough right now, but we're in a better spot because of his financial guidance. And I mean, when it comes down to it, that's, you know, the one thing we hear about most is taxes. You know, everything else is kind of, and I'm not saying that it should be this way, but everything else kind of falls to second or third place behind what we're getting for what we pay in taxes. And our taxes, unfortunately, do go up every year, but they, you know, we have more services because of the financial leadership that Charlie's been providing for us, so. I'm very happy with the job you've been doing, and I hope you keep it up.
Melania?
To pick up about the financial rating, this is definitely Charlie's strong suit. He came in at a time economically where everyone was suffering. There are communities in the state still that have to go and bring Proposition 2.5 and have overrides in order to make their budget every year. We don't have to do that, and that's really wonderful. Dealing with the negotiations for contracts have been fabulous. There are a million things every day that just because we don't mention them doesn't mean that they're not being done really well or well above our expectations. Selectman Frawley mentioned it's not a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job. Charlie is everywhere he has to be, whenever he has to be there. If it's a weekend, if it's a night, it doesn't matter. That's really wonderful. And not everyone does that. He's really dedicated. That's helpful. What's helped me is he also has a real willingness to listen if you come in and make suggestions or maybe change the course of a procedure if we decide, you know what, maybe we should try it another way. That not being so rigid in your ways is great. If I would want to see any improvement, in every town, every job, if you're managing, you have a lot of personalities. We have dozens of department heads and literally hundreds of employees. And with all those personalities and all those work schedules and work habits, I would like to see a little more on-hand management of that to try to stop before problems arise. That's about all I have to say. Wonderful job.
Thank you.
Very happy to work with you.
Mr. Oldham?
I'm a new person on the board, just finishing up my first year, so I can only really judge from that year here, but I've been very pleased. I think you've really done a good job of making the Board of Selectmen aware of the various issues that we need to be aware of, bringing the information forward to us in a timely fashion. You know, the budget. Nobody wants to tell people that we can't fund something extra for anyone. But this level funded budget is the reason why our credit rating is going up. And I think that is due in a large part to your efforts, along with other committees in the town. It's hard to find objective criteria when you're looking at a position like this, but an increase in the credit rating that's very objective, you can point to that and say, yeah, wow. On the evaluation form itself, there was a part about, and this is just looking for something negative. There's a part about saying attends town activities and visible in the town. I'm not even sure why that's in there. For me, I don't know if that's a component of a town manager's job. I think Charlie's doing the job that he needs to do, and I like to see that. An area where I'd like to see some possible growth, it's been mentioned before, making sure that all our town departments are pulling in the same direction. That doesn't always seem to be the case, and when people come to various boards, they might be getting, a slightly different impression. And I think it's incumbent upon the town manager to make sure that we're all working for the same goal. We're all there to make sure everybody gets a fair shot at getting what they need, and that the townspeople are getting the services they need, and it's not destroying our budget at the same time. One other thing is I'd like to see a more, and I think we are starting to see it, a more consistent reach out to all of our legislative delegation. And I think we're starting to see that, and I think that's helpful. I know we often ask, are we involving our legislators? And the answer is starting to become consistently, yeah, that's what we're doing. So I like that. Very positive.
So, in conclusion, I know as chair of the selectmen, I rely on the guidance that Charlie gives me. It's Not that I'm a loose cannon or anything like that much, but sometimes you need a little bit of guidance, or I might say something that will get the town in a lot of trouble. So I appreciate that from Charlie. He can't shackle me, that's for certain, but he does give me ideas of how to proceed with some things, and that's important. I hope that you feel as supported as the town manager from this board as I feel this board is supportive of you. I think we make a good team. I think we've done a lot of good work. I know that the review form itself it's a math problem, but basically there's 33 points, and you add it up and all that. So his grade, get ready, here it comes, 2.7 out of 3. The only thing she's written all night was the 2.7 out of 3. That's it. So I say thank you very much, Charlie. Is there anything you would like to?
No, I want to thank the board. I appreciate the comments. Always strive to do better, and I've written down, the things that you've said tonight. It is a team sport. I think we work very well together. I do feel very supported, and same goes for the departmental managers. We've got some great managers, great employees, and everybody, I think really does try to pull together, and everybody understands the financial situation we've been in the last 6 years, and I know they're not happy about it. They wish it could be different, but they do the best they can with the resources we give them, and actually I think they do a very good job with the resources we give them. So, hopefully this economy improves and we can work our way out of this, situation we're in, but, for the time being, it's what we have to live with, and people are doing a very good job living within our means. So I look forward to continuing to work with everybody here, and just continuing making improvements, making strides, trying to make the town better every day.
Good. This Saturday, we have an election in town, and we'll have a new member sitting on the board. Will you be able to spend some time with the new member?
I
think
certainly
the old
intend
member
to.
has
I certainly intend to. And we, Jackie and I, as you recall, some of the new members, we put together a stack of information, resources for the new selectmen to be able to draw upon, and we're working on that now, and we'll have that ready for the new member.
And we'll be able to get their new members' email address and all, so we can get them the information, because next Monday we'll have a fairly light agenda, but there'll still be an agenda.
Yeah, no, we'll be ready.
Good. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Would you like to make your report?
No, a very simple report. I just thought, a lot of times we talk about, the benefits of regionalization, and we got a report from our Sursage group, the Southeastern Regional Services Group, that does a lot of our regional procurement, and they gave us a report on our office supplies contract this year, and we've spent $28,000 to date, and we've saved over $51,000 to date just on office supplies. So that's one of the things where, while it's not provided by the county, there are these regional associations like Sursage, like the Recycling Collaborative, that do good work for us, and we really appreciate it.
We've saved a lot of money on these packets by using the iPads and the email.
Yeah, we certainly have.
When the iPads work. Next item on the agenda is correspondence. Melanie?
I just would like to point out number 3 from the letter from the Conservation Commission. It's disturbing that the documentation hasn't been filed yet for them to make a determination. Tricia's here, she knows this better than I do, but whenever any department in the town is ignored like this, it's a little disturbing. So she can explain it better than I am sure.
Tricia Cassidy, the conservation agent for the town. And I wasn't really prepared to speak on this tonight. However, I have been every month touching base with DEP about the Rockland Industries site. I had heard from them at the end of December. That's the last time I heard from them. And they were still awaiting, at that time, the documentation for more testing and more of an evaluation of the site. Since DEP did the cleanup, a partial cleanup there, I think it's a couple years ago now.
Yeah, but this is on the vegetation management, the letter that you wrote regarding.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
it was Rockland Industries.
No,
vegetation
it isn't, sorry.
management.
It was
Oh,
on the
I'm sorry.
vegetation
That was a good
management.
report, I like that.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, but that was a good update anyway, I mean.
Okay, so that's an update on that, I'm sorry. But yeah, the vegetation management, that was the letter that I copied,
Right.
right, from
To-
the
Is that
chairman.
Instar, or this the gas pipeline?
No.
See, what happened was,
No,
It says one N-Star Way is where it went.
yeah.
Do you want to see it?
I think it was the one from the chairman,
Yeah,
right?
it was.
Yeah.
It was about the IPM.
Right.
Yes, and they were very nice. As soon as they received the letter, they called last week. I talked with Denise Bartone, who's one of the environmental people that work for NSTAR, and they're more than happy to come to one of our meetings again to discuss any questions the commission has about the program.
Was there any reason why, did it just slip through the cracks? Is that why they didn't respond?
And NSTAR has said that they don't feel that, under the regulations for this, it's Department of Agriculture, and they don't feel, they feel they're exempt from filing with us. The commission feels that at the very least they should, file a request for determination, like Mass DOT does for their
Right.
IPM, BMP, management plans. So just as a courtesy, because Mass DOT is also under Department of Agriculture for herbicides and vegetation removal. So
Okay.
it's to be, seen when they come and discuss it with the commission.
Right.
Is there
Those are the
anything we could do to
two
help you
things.
with this?
I'm not sure right now. I can ask the chairman and the rest of the commission. We're meeting Thursday evening. We already have that agenda set, but so I'm hoping for the April 17th meeting, we may have NSTAR come in for discussion.
If you feel it would be beneficial for a letter from the Board of Selectmen, please.
Okay,
Let us
no,
know,
thank you very much.
because
I'll let you know, definitely.
We don't want to go through, NSTAR has, they don't have a good track record in the town, so.
I know. It
we-
was,
This would be a good opportunity for them to build a bridge
Mhm.
as opposed to burn down another one. So if you need some kind of a letter from us, if you pass that on to the chair, if he feels
will.
a letter from us would be helpful.
I'm sure that they would appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I'll give you the official, after our
Okay.
meeting this week. Okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
That's it?
Yep.
Mr. Walton?
Just number 5. Bristol Plymouth Regional Technical School is, they're holding a public hearing to review their FY 215 budget on Tuesday, April 1st, 5:45 at the lecture hall. And I know a lot of Middleborough parents have students who go to BP, so if you're interested, they're presenting their budget.
Is that it?
That would be it.
Mr. Foley?
I'm all set.
All set? Okay. Chair is all set. Hearing no other...
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Thank the chief for
Yeah,
what he said.
Chief?
Did you want to speak about Smart 911? before you
Do
end?
you know anything about it? Because I don't.
I have very limited knowledge about it, but it is a free service to citizens. I don't know if it's free to municipalities. I do know that it's not offered in the zip code. I think the closest to us is Stoughton.
Stoughton they just
Right.
implemented it.
As far as I know, that's the closest community that has it right now. I would imagine once it catches on, it'll be expanded. It's about the limit that I know about it. But it is free service to sign up for citizens. If it's in your jurisdiction, just go online, you create an account, tell them your personal information, and it pops up on the 911 screen rather than just your address of where the 911 call is originated by. It gives you some additional information. We somewhat do that now without 911. If we get an address, we pull up what we call the occupancy for the address, and it gives us pertinent information. However, it's not instant with 911. Once 911 is transferred to us or the phone call from the police are given to us to an address, we pull that up on the computer and it gives us pertinent information, closest hydrants, hazardous materials in that area, owner, occupancy, and some other information. We kind of already do that. This is more instantaneous. When you dial 911 right now, from a landline, it gives you the address where that phone call is coming from and the phone number. So if you're calling 911 for the neighbor, make sure you tell them the emergency's next door, not at your house, because that's where they're coming to. When you do that with cell phone, just be advised that 911 with cell phone goes to state police and then transferred to your local police, no matter where you are. So, in emergency medical dispatching, if you have that, which we do, we're provided that through Booster Ambulance, your phone message could be transferred up to 2 or 3 times if it's a 911 from your cell phone. It's just something to remember if you're dialing 911, which most people have cell phones now. So. But that's the extent of Smart 911 that I know. It is a free service. It's not available in Middleborough yet. I think it's Stoughton, and the next closest is Medford, I believe.
Yes, it seems like it's starting to catch on.
Right.
From what I've read. I haven't done a lot of research.
It is a free service to citizens. I don't know if it's free to
I
municipalities.
think the municipality has to purchase the program,
Right.
and then it's free to sign up, that type of thing. So, but we'll
That's all I
probably
have.
be talking about this a little more
I'll do
later.
some research.
All right, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Congratulations.
Okay, before we go into our executive session, I would like to thank Ben Quell. He was a selectman for the past 3 years. He's apparently...
And he's tied up at his bank. He sent me a text, unfortunately, so that's why he's not here.
You know, these things happen. It's called work.
That's right.
Gets in the way of life sometimes. But I do want to thank Ben for being on the board for the past 3 years. Again, we have an election this coming weekend. It's very important to get out and vote. And having nothing else to do, we will now go into executive session for the purpose of reviewing the 2013 executive session minutes, the collective bargaining, all bargaining units, pending litigation, and to consider the purchase and exchange, lease, and value of real property, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining and litigation in an open... Hey, come on, I'm reading all this crap now. Listen, this is important stuff. So, respect to collective bargaining or litigation in an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigation position of the public body, and the chair so declares. This is a poll vote.
Yes.
Ms. Delpy. Mr. Nolan.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And the chair votes yes. We're now in an executive session. Talk as you will and get out.